Welcome to The Daily Grind, a Bluff City Media daily podcast. Stepping up to the microphone is your host, Luke Hatmaker. Grab your favorite morning brew, and let's get to the show.
Who are you? Who? I really want to know, who are you? You won't give it a go. This is not CSI Las Vegas. This is The Daily Grind. And I am your host, Luke Hatmaker, not Grissom. I don't remember. I used to love CSI. I'm already off the. I used to watch Survivor, CSI, and I loved it. And it's Wednesday, and I got Rusty with me of the $2 Sports Show of Dr. Bucket's fame. How are you, sir?
I'm good, man. It is a beautiful day here in East Memphis. I was outside having my coffee, and my neighbor has an ant problem. I was talking to him about it, and he was dropping them in a glass of water. And I said, "What are you doing?" He said, "I'm trying to tell their gender." I said, "How's that work?" He said, "Well, if you drop an ant and it sinks, girl ant. But if you drop an ant and it floats, boy ant." Welcome to the Daily Grind. The science pun. Come on, who doesn't love a science pun?
Science pun. And it's who doesn't love ants? The ants are crazy. This is why we have ants, man.
And if they float, they're buoyant.
Man, I don't know what I would do if I was chilling and I look over and I see somebody dropping ants in a jar. I'd be like, "Hey, man, you okay?" It wasn't bad, King Meeks and Wayno. Leave Rusty alone.
Wayno, everybody, it's good. It's a good joke. You're just mad you didn't think of it. And if you know my neighbor, you know that's not far off.
Leave Rusty alone, but thank you guys for joining us. Let me say that first. But leave Rusty alone. Let's jump into some basketball, brother. Like, speaking of buoyancy, I don't know. I don't have a transition for this. Speaking of ants that play basketball, speaking of third string basketball players. Oh, I just touched my dog. I didn't know he was in the floor. Hey, buddy. Scared me. I touched something hairy and I was like, huh. Grizzlies, Summer League, Salt Lake City Summer League. They lost 90-91. We talked yesterday. We speculated if anybody of note would play in this game. Quick answer was no.
No, I was hopeful, but no, they didn't. Grizzlies shot 51.5% from three yesterday, almost 52% from three yesterday, and they still lost. You know, it's one of those things, Luke, we're wrapping up Salt Lake City. It doesn't matter a ton. Vegas is where the action truly happens. But Jemai Meshack started the game 3 for 3 from three, had himself a nice little ball game, playing a little defense and showing up. You know, the more he plays, the more I like him. He's just a hooper. He's just going to be that gritty, do-it-all kind of guy. And if he's the, 14th, 15th guy on his roster, I'm not going to be mad at it. But again, he's going to be, probably on a two-way, him and Javon Small. We'll see more in Vegas when the heat gets turned up a little bit. We play there Friday night. We against Boston is who we tip off with. We'll see. But Meshack is absolutely that dude defensively. You're right, Edward. He is just an absolute menace on that side of the ball. And he's fun to watch play, man. Even if he has the Tennessee ball, he's fun to watch play.
Wow, shots fired. I was a little disappointed he didn't give us 10 fouls yesterday. But other than that, I just like watching him play. Out of all these guys that played for the Grizzlies yesterday, I was impressed. He was the only one. I mean, Wayno says that nobody impressed him. If there was anybody that could impress you, it would be Meshack. I mean, Burton went 5 of 7 from three. I had to do a double take because I was like, is that the ex-Bears tight end, Trey Burton? It's not. It's not. But I mean, none of these. I mean, let me back that up. Some of these guys will probably be on the G League squad. Or the hustle, I imagine. But the only one of the guys that we saw play yesterday that I imagine we will ever see on the Grizzlies main roster in any capacity is Meshack. I could be wrong. There's one two-way spot left, I should say, it seems. It looks like we're going to have Javon Small, Meshack, and then there's one left. So you've got some of these dudes.
Technically, Zion Pullian has still got that spot. I hope that there's going to be some changes there because Pullian hadn't really showed me anything either. I imagine we'll use one of our two-way spots for a big because we're going to need that, that depth in the front court. And there hasn't been a guy that stepped up. Baycott has been a big nothing burger. Lovering has done absolutely nothing after we brought him over to his 7'1" self. So I don't know. I do think our last, I think we'll have Javon Small, Meshack, and I don't know how the rules exactly work. If we can pull Zion Pullian's two-way, I imagine we can. And I think that last one will go to a big.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen the Grizzlies do that. They're known for, I mean, they did it with, who did they do it with? They did it with Jay Huff last year before they converted his contract. Colin Castleton briefly. I mean, it's just the Grizzlies are known for keeping another big down there. But I mean, we got Baycott might stand for boycott. Shoot, it might, Wayno, after the way he's been playing. I mean,
he had the world was his oyster. The opportunity was there for the taking, and he can't even get rebounds in Summer League. He dominates the G League, and he might just be a really good G League player, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's no shame in that. Those guys make a decent living playing professional basketball, but like Baycott has not shown me anything that will translate to an NBA game.
Yeah, I mean, and it's Salt Lake City Summer League, it's the mean potatoes of the Summer League is going to start
Friday night.
And before we get there though, I wanted to ask you, what, it's not much that you can take from Salt Lake City, but what Salt Lake City superlative or is superlatives jumped out to you? Maybe not just Grizzlies, but who, because I know. Well, let's start with the Grizzlies. Gigi and Jalen both, I think, and Cam were the three, I guess, that I wanted to see maybe look like they were head and shoulders above everybody else here, and they did.
Yeah, they did. Despite what your social media tells you, Jalen Wells had a great summer league in the 2 games that he played. He had an off night and still had 23 points.
Yeah.
But I'm convinced there's going to be people in this fan base that are just going to hate no matter what. And it's so the mute button and block button have worked wonders for my timeline. I don't see it as much. I've seen some other people complaining about it. And I'm like, I must have the right people blocked and muted.
Yep.
Because I don't care about negativity like that anymore. I just don't. But Jalen Wells had looked the part of an NBA player, moving super well. For me, like I said on yesterday's show, my boy Gigi, who I was super hyped for last summer, has looked the part of just a free basketball player again. He's not overthinking it. He's not in his head as much. He's actually hooping again. And just watching how he moves without the basketball has been so much fun. Obviously, you still need to see some more defensive stuff, lose some of the tunnel vision to where he can get some more assists. But it's been refreshing to see Gigi kind of play well. And again, he's played well in Summer League before. So I need to see it continue in Vegas and continue heading into fall camp, heading toward basketball season in October. But I like what I've seen from Gigi, and maybe, just maybe, Cam Spencer is that crazy that we need on this team, because he can go on a heater and let you know about it in a heartbeat.
Yep. I think we all, if anybody that watched a little bit of college ball knew that he had that crazy in him, but the dude just keeps building. It's not always easy for guys to build off of that in college. It's a different sport. College basketball and professional basketball are just different. To translate that same kind of flipping that switch and one eye just kind of goes to the right and you just kind of just kind of crazy, that's awesome.
And he gets that finger up and going, and it's just he went toe to toe with Kevin Durant on a Tuesday night. So that guy is not afraid of anything. And we've been needing psycho on this team, and Killer Cam might just be that dude.
Yeah, man. And I think that the 3 musketeers of the Grizzly Summer League squad is what I'm going to call them, just because I don't want to say Wells, Spencer, and I already forgot Gigi. Exactly. See, that's the 3 musketeers, the 3 dudes who are those dudes on the Grizzly Summer League squad. I really hope, that first game, those dudes put 60 points between them. Yeah. I really hope that, and it's Summer League. Every time I say anything, I feel like I have to be like, disclaimer, it's summer. We should make a noise. Summer League. I just hope that the 3 of them continue to hoop and continue to do so in Tomas's offense, because this Summer League and Vegas Summer League is just as important for Tomas as it is for these guys. Just so getting his system in early, getting it involved with these young guys. Because you remember in practice, these young guys are going to be playing a lot. They're going to be practicing a lot. It's going to be important to have as many guys know your system early and often as you can. And I hope it continues. I liked what I saw out of Tomas. Everybody that's going to be on the main roster in some capacity that we're going to see regular, we're going to see on a regular night tonight basis. I was pleased with what I saw in 3 games in Salt Lake.
Yeah, and if you watch based on early returns, and it's Summer League, so you don't know, but we do know he subs at a high rate. It's almost like a hockey team, like we talked about it on yesterday or Monday. Yep. There's going to be subbing at a high rate. There's going to be a lot of high ball screens. There's going to be multiple screens. We've seen that, trying like screen for a shooter. There's going to be a lot of Jaron and Edie and BC and whoever else, Jock, coming out to the 3-point line and setting a screen and then setting a back screen on the way back to the basket. So like, you're seeing glimpses of what the system's going to look like. And so far, the early returns are impressive. It looks more like an NBA system. It doesn't look like, like just marbles rattle around a jar down there trying to figure out basketball, right? Like they actually look like they're in sync and playing basketball and getting a good look of what a true NBA system could look like, and not that BS we had to mess around with last summer and last fall. That's for sure.
Yep. I'm trying to get it pulled up really quick. I know last night, for example, he played, I'm curious. Played 11 guys total. 10 dudes played at least 14 minutes. Night before that, 10 dudes played at least 10 minutes. Like in each of these games, he's playing 10 guys, and 10 guys are playing. 10 guys are getting 10 minutes or more. This isn't garbage time minutes. Like the substitutions are happening a lot, and he's not. If he's doing it with a Summer League squad with Joe Schmo out there as your 10th guys, like when he's got like an actual 10 to 12 guys that he can, I'm excited. I'm excited.
With a word of caution, right? Because we saw this with Taylor, right? He's played 14, 15 freaking guys night in and night out and just never would change it. And what I'm hoping for is that like the Pacers sub a lot because they've got guys that can play. And so they, Rick Carlisle subbed a lot in the finals, and it worked out fairly well for them. Unfortunately, not fully, but it worked out for him. So it's a word of caution. Like I was very critical of Taylor Jenkins subbing out so much last year, and I'm going to be the same with Tomas. I think I get the vision behind it, trying to be like the Pacers, but we got to make sure we've got the depth to match those subs. Otherwise, it's going to be frustrating all over again because it's hard to get in a rhythm, and basketball is such a rhythm sport. And we've seen Ja not, when things aren't going his way, he can be, very, expressive about that. And the game slows down and it becomes some 5-on-4s, and you get frustrating not getting in a rhythm. So like, I see the vision. I'm just also going to pump the brakes on it a little bit because I'm not going to be talking out of both sides of my mouth, right? Like I'm not going to criticize Taylor for it and then be like, oh, Tomas plays a ton of guys. That's great. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. We should be, let's thank you. We have PTSD, we should say, because we've seen Taylor Jenkins go out there and just have nonsensical substitutions. If the substitutions happen more in the vein of a Rick Carlisle, like you said, who does it in a methodical way, who understands, it's like he actually is playing chess, not playing checkers when everybody else is playing chess like TJ was known to do, and TJ's a good coach. I'm not here to say TJ's not a good coach, but
I'm not talking about Taylor Jenkins. There's a way to make these substitutions make sense. And that's all me and Luke are asking for. T, I know you watch the show. You're a big fan. We're just asking for the substitutions to make sense. Don't throw at a wall and see what sticks, but have a plan and also be willing to adapt that plan mid-game. And don't just keep running Jake LaRavia and John Conchar out there in critical moments. Give us some subs that make sense.
Yep. Do like Rick Carlisle, longtime listener, lover of the show, maybe. Do what he does and make sense with your subs. And so far in 3 Salt Lake City Summer League games, there's been sense made of it. We're gonna really dive into the Vegas Summer League maybe tomorrow, or Friday, whenever it actually happens. That's there's more teams there. That's when people go. Not that people don't go, but like people show up for Vegas. It's Vegas. I don't know. I'm excited. We're going to take a quick break though, because when we get back, we got to talk over unders because
I got a couple hot takes.
Yeah, man, there's some nonsense happening in here. We're just going to take a quick break though, because I want to spend a lot of time talking about this. We'll be right back after this quick break.
Looking for an alternative to alcohol or conventional medicine? Check out Ounce of Hope, a Memphis-based dispensary with 2 local stores in the Sanderland Center and on South Cooper Street. You can get all the products you need in a location convenient to you. Each store offers an intentional shopping experience with dedicated bud tenders to answer all of your questions, from product selection and mushroom blends to our personal favorite, the Delta 9 seltzers. You gotta try the Peach Buzz. Try Ounce of Hope at either one of their 2 Memphis stores or at www.ounceofhope.com for convenient products shipped right to your door. Use the promo code BluffCity for 15% off any order, excluding sale items. Cannot be used in conjunction with other promotions or discounts. One use per customer.
I'm with you. Like, it's been tough for him. It's been hard to watch because I just remember kind of the excitement you and I had when he got drafted to Golden State. Like, we talked about it. He was the perfect fit for them. Playing next to Steph and Clay and Draymond. And for whatever reason, it didn't really work out there. He's been bitten by the injury bug multiple times and just never been able to really get his feet under him in the NBA and play a ton of games consecutively. And then with the latest injury being in the first game of the season this past year, tearing his Achilles, like, it's just been really hard to watch for someone that we, did have a close relationship to. So I really don't have anything negative to say about him at all. But it is tough because we thought he was going to be one of the best.
Surefire.
No doubt.
Tune in to On the Bluff with Christian Fowler and Gabe Kuhn every Tuesday at 12 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
In the heart of the Highland Strip for 27 years, Trilogy Tattoo has helped tell stories for Memphians for generations. Located at 530 South Highland, Richie and his team are waiting to help you tell yours.
From tattoos to piercings, your body art should be as unique as you are. Voted a Memphis Flyer top 3 tattoo shop in the city of Memphis since day one. Your story will be safe here at Trilogy Tattoo.
Open 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday, 11 to 11, and 3 to 11 on Sundays. They have convenient times waiting on you. Let Trilogy Tattoo help you tell your story.
Trilogy Tattoo. Check them out, y'all. And Ounce of Hope. They're great. www.ounceofhope.com. Promo code BluffCity. Their products are great. People are great. Same with Trilogy Tattoo. Tattoos are great. People are great. We only work with great people here. That's what we do.
Memphis supporting Memphis. And we found 2 great Memphis businesses to partner with. More to come. Spoiler alert. Not spoiler alert. Foreshadowing. But, great people at Ounce of Hope. Great people at Trilogy. Go check them out for all of your body art and or accessory needs.
Yes, and or accessorize. Love it, man. So, tell you who's going to need some Ounce of Hopes. Ounce of Hopes sound like Gollum. Ounce of Hopes. No, don't do that, Luke. You're on live something. Keep that Gollum impersonation out of here. The over-unders totals were dropped yesterday. And here's what we're going to do first. Let's talk about where the Grizzlies are. We will break down all these other teams a little after this. But what's that? They don't get no respect. Rodney Dangerfield. This isn't a good impression. No respect. They get no respect. They get no respect. No respect at all. This is dumb. I know I'm a homer, but you try to tell me they're gonna 8 wins less than last year.
Yeah,
because Luke Kennard and Desmond Baker gone. I just don't. Nowhere. The trade machine, which is an AI, a relatively smart program AI, doesn't even have us losing 8 wins when you and I get that other teams are getting better, but like what?
Yeah.
And I know I'm a homer. I know I am, but 40.5 wins, that's Sacramento Kingland And
Yeah.
I just don't think we're that.
I do think there's going to be some regression from last year.
Yes.
We're going to miss Desmond
Yes.
Bates' offense, but not
Yes.
8 wins worth. Like, I still think 44, 43, 44, 45 wins, somewhere right in there.
Yeah.
It's going to be kind of like a good spot. The Grizzlies historically, we'll see more of this here in a few minutes when I make another couple points, that like average almost 2 wins above their preseason projections for the last 15 years. So we got 15 years worth of data telling us that Vegas consistently boo-boos on Memphis, who then beats them by 2 wins every single year for the last 15 years, just about.
Let's throw this up here. I want to hear you talk about it.
So, like you see here, this is a chart: average wins over under preseason projections. So, taking the Vegas projections, the Memphis Grizzlies are the 4th best team in the NBA at exceeding preseason expectations. So 40.5 wins. Theoretically, based on the data, if we're doing trend lines, the Memphis Grizzlies are going to win around 42 games based on their previous history with their preseason projections. So, like, you look at that and you see teams down there at the bottom, like the Lakers, who are consistently over-analyzed or over-favored by preseason projections. They're damn near 5 wins worse every year than their preseason projections. So the Memphis Grizzlies are going to see a regression. Like, I don't think anybody can argue that. There's going to be some bumps and bruises and growth pains with a new coach, a new system, losing your best shooter, most consistent shooter. There's going to be a regression. But an 8-win regression is a wild take and shouldn't be surprising for the way that Vegas consistently, as somebody put it a few minutes ago, boo-boos on the Grizzlies.
Man, I just don't like. I'm with you. I I'm not an idiot. I'm a homer, but I'm also a realist. Like, we're not like 44 wins. Cool. 40.5 is a lot. Like, I don't know. Like, that's 8 wins. 8 wins less is a lot.
It's truly Memphis versus everybody, especially with this, but it's Memphis versus everybody. Vegas is included in that because, like, we get no, like you said, we get no respect. And an 8-win regression is nightmare fuel. Are we going to be as good as last year? Probably not. We're still probably a year or 2 away, like, we've been for the last, feels like 5 or 6 years. But 8-win regression is wild. I'm taking the over on the Memphis Grizzlies wins. Yeah,
man, me too. And I don't like, it may not be a lot over, but I'm still taking the over here.
Again, 42 wins is still over. Still, it's a regression from last year, and it's still over our preseason projection. So I'm taking the over because I do think the Grizzlies will figure something out. Our roster's not finished. We have until February to get it changed. And I hope, dear God, I hope that my system just lands and we get that missing piece heading into the deadline, and we just crush our Vegas projection. Go win 50 freaking games.
It'd be awesome. It'd be awesome. What else jumped out to you out of these win totals? Are there any of these that you're hammering the over? I mean, there is one that immediately jumped out to me, which I'm going to leave this graphic up here because I think it's pretty helpful. And I'm not, so let me backtrack. Before we talk about who you hammer and the over and the under, I'm going to give you a team that just really stuck out to me. And I'm like, really? The San Antonio Spurs, who had, they're projected 9.5 wins more than they did last year. I think they got better, but on the same side where it's like, you got the Grizzlies, and I know the West got better as a whole, but you're saying the Grizzlies are going to lose 8 more and the Spurs are going to win 9 more games. I just think that's a lot of up, down, up, down, up, down. These win totals just seem, there were a few where I was like, that seems either too high or too low. The Hawks are another one. I love the Hawks. And I was like, last year they were my hammer of the over, but they got the Hawks finishing at 46.5 wins. Those were two, a West and East team where I was like, are we sure about that? And those are teams I like.
Yeah, for me, the two that stood out, not my hammer, the over or under, but the two that stood out were the Rockets at 54.5. That's a lot of wins. Kevin Durant's teams do typically win at a high rate, but I'm still curious what that culture is going to look like what that team's going to look like. Are they going to be able to defend at the same level they did last year? Like, how different is that team going to be with Kevin Durant at the helm? And then the Magic at 51.5, like maybe that's me being a bit hopeful and rooting for Desmond Bane, hoping that they'll do well. They typically finish lower than their projection based on our chart here. They're like 4 or 5 to the right of the midline. I like what they've built there. I like that team. I think they got better, like a lot better. I think Desmond Bane is exactly what they needed. I look for Orlando like to finish around 51, 52, 53 wins and be a force in a down Eastern Conference next year.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, I'm glad this is up here. That's another thing too, man. Like looking at the conferences, because the East is going to be, honestly, there's a lot of East teams that are higher up here than I was expecting.
43 and a half wins for the Celtics that's bold, man, with they've shipped out and what they're doing. Yeah.
Well, so let's go into our hammer the over, hammering the I can talk. Hammering the overs and hammering the unders. Ooh, talking. This is fun. I can give you the team that I'm going to hammer the under on.
Okay.
And this might be, and you might disagree here. I just thought this was a lot of wins. And if you're giving other teams, I don't think the Timberwolves get to 50 wins with Nog on. And I don't know. I just think that 50 wins is a lot. I get that team made they made the Western. I mean, they make the Western Conference Finals back-to-back. Yeah, back-to-back years. I get it. And you got to assume Ant's going to keep getting better, but I just Nog was really important to what they did there. Are they done? I mean, you're paying Nas and you're paying Rudy and you're paying Randall a lot of money. 50 wins is a lot, and I just think that I would hammer the under on this. I still think they're going to be good. I just think a lot of these teams that they're like 50, 44, 48, or 50, 48, 46, I think they're more likely to be 44, 45 wins than they are 50.
Yeah, agree. That's a good one. And you see the chart supports that, right? They're the third worst team over the last 15 years at preseason projection. I'm going to go similar. The team just below them both on the chart and on the list here, the Lakers at 47.5.
What is that?
What is that? They got nobody to play defense. Yes, Jake LaRavia is a decent defender, but he can't guard 1 through 3 because like the Austin Reeves of the world, like those dudes don't defend, man. And you got an older LeBron. We know Luka don't play a lick of defense.
Nope.
And DeAndre Ayton's controller dies and checks out mid-game. Like nothing about what the Lakers have done tells me that they're going to win 48 games to hit the over. And historically, Vegas props them up super high, and they're over 5 wins worse than what their preseason projection is. I am hammering the under on the Los Angeles Lakers. Part of that's because I'm a hater. Part of that's because they didn't do what to make this team better. If your offseason acquisitions, if your first call in for an offseason acquisition is Jake LaRavia, and I know Uncle Buck's Jake LaRavia tattoo is burning as I'm talking about this right now.
It's like Harry Potter's scar.
That's it. Exactly right. But like, if that's your preseason acquisition and DeAndre Ayton, and you're expecting to win 48 games, hammer the under on the Los Angeles Lakers.
Man, I'm glad you picked the Lakers because I was like, I didn't want to be
the
the
other
hater.
was the Sixers because Wayne does talk. He's right. Like they're trash, but like give me a chance to boo boo on the Lakers and hammer the under on them. Man, screw those guys. Like,
I hate them.
Like hammer the under.
Hammer the under. Oh, it's great. Hammering the over, I found to be a little bit tougher. Just because. Well, the team that I want to hammer the over the most is the Grizzlies. I just think, and we talked about that. I just really do think 40.5 is incredibly disrespectful. Underestimate them if you want. All right, yeah, I'm gonna say it, and I don't know if I'm gonna feel good about this. I think the Hornets finish better than 24.5. I don't. I think one of these teams that are projected to be bad. I'm on the fence of it. I think it's either going to be Portland or the Blazers. I think one of these teams hovering around 25, 30 wins is actually going to be pretty decent and surprise a lot of teams. I think the Hornets have a better chance of doing it in the East as opposed to the Trailblazers in the West. So I'm going to say Hornets, and you see they're hovering right here around the middle, according to this graphic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not totally without the realm of possibility. I like what they're building down there, so I'm going to say maybe they hammer the over on the Hornets over under, but just a little bit.
Yeah. So you stole my other one. I am high on what Portland is doing.
Okay,
I like what they've done. They're getting better. Yes, it's a loaded Eastern Conference, and maybe some of this is that I want them to do well. But like they're getting a bit better. They're building something out there, and then down the stretch, right? Like they were trying. They were competitive. They're good. I think that they are better than what they get credit for. Klingon, if he can continue his defensive prowess, is going to be good. You add Drew Holiday as that veteran leader out there. Some of the players, I mean, Abdi, if he continues to take that step, you know, they've got all these big old centers. Like there's a path there for Portland. Their over-under's 33.5. That's 34 wins. They won 33 games last year. They won 21 the year before. They won 33 and 22, 23. In 2021, they won 42 games. So we're not that far removed from that. And so I think that like Portland is not going to be, this is not your granddaddy's Portland Trailblazers. Right? Like, this is a team in my like main accent or whatever. I
love it.
Like they're going to be better. And I like what they're building. No, they're not going to be great. Could they be like a fringe playing team? I think so. I think they've got enough talent to do that. But I think 33 wins is a little low considering they finished 36 last year in a year that they were bad and tanking, right? Yep. And they got better. And so I like what Portland's building. I think historically they finished ahead of their preseason rankings. And so I think that are projections. So that's what I'm going to go with. I'm going with Portland. Another team I want to see do bad is the Suns, who are right in there too, just because we have their draft pick and I want it to be terrible. And like Cam Boozer on this Grizzly team would be amazing. But hammer the over on the Portland Trailblazers. Denny Abdia, their bigs, Drew Holiday, like Scoot is getting better. Like this team is going to be, again, I think the Portland Trailblazers are going to be a sneaky fringe play-in team this year. Hammer the over on the Portland Trailblazers.
Do it, man. I love it. I'm just excited. This is good content. This is good stuff to talk about. I'm excited. And quit disrespecting the Grizzlies, y'all. It's a bad look.
That's fine. Stay on, as John Moran said, stay on that side.
Stay on that side. For real, just stay over there. I'm 40.5 wins. That's going to do it for our show today, y'all. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate all of you. We will be back tomorrow. $2 Sports Show today at 11. Anthony Saint Show at 2. I think that's French. I don't know. I don't speak French. But yeah, check out all of them today. They're going to be great. We'll be back tomorrow. Have a great day. Enjoy the beautiful weather. If we can leave you with anything, remember these 2 things. Remember to be a little weird and remember to smile. Bye, guys. Have a great day. And we will see you tomorrow.